Well, good afternoon and welcome everyone. Today's review has now brought us here for a much more up-close and personal encounter with the all-new and completely rejuvenated 2015 Hyundai Sonata SE. And now, with all of that being said, this is going to be a complete and in-depth review of the all-new Sonata. And this does entail a complete startup and overview of the engine, as well as a good look at many of the unique and notable styling cues and multiple all-new features, technologies, and creature comforts that now make up this completely rejuvenated second coming of Hyundai's popular mid-size sedan. And so, bearing all that new information in mind, let's go ahead and climb aboard and we'll check it out. To begin with, our rather basically equipped SE tester today is wearing the Nouveau Blue Metallic exterior. This particular color here is actually one of two available shades of blue for the all-new Sonata. The other available color is a much more darker, almost royal blue pearl known as Lakeside Blue. Beautifully accenting the depth and shine of this Nouveau Blue exterior, our particular vehicle's interior has been fully upholstered in the standard beige cloth upholstery. Now, all new for 2015 is Hyundai's new Switchblade Key Fob here, which is sculpted to look very much like their new proximity key fob as well, and this replaces the old separate key and remote system found on the previous generation of the Sonata. And the moment you turn the key, you get that beautiful smooth purr from that new gasoline direct injected 4-cylinder engine. Now, regardless of which trim level you pick, be it SE, Eco, Limited, or even the higher end Sport trim level in both 2.4 and turbo variants, this vehicle comes standard with its own all new electrically assisted rack and pinion power steering setup. Nice and smooth, with a good bit of resistance and feedback in the wheel overall. In this basic SE trim level, we have this soft-grained vinyl-wrapped 4-spoke multi-function steering wheel. If you were to go for a car such as the Sport 2.0 Turbo, you will get a race-inspired designed leather-trimmed steering wheel with a genuine 3-spoke design, accents of painted silver, and a flat-bottom race design, along with other various amenities. Also, as you can see here, even in the most basic trim level, you get a lot of electronic creature comforts as standard, including all your LCD screen controls, cruise control, and also hands-free Bluetooth and hands-free radio setup as well. Now, also, regardless of which trim level you pick, with the exception of about one, the all-new Sonata is provided with only one available transmission choice, Hyundai's electronically controlled Shift-tronic 6-speed automatic transmission, with aptly named Shift-tronic manual shifting capabilities in their own designated part just to the left-hand part of the drive portion of the shifter. And in this case, it's fed through a vinyl-wrapped shift knob with a nice accent of black piano veneer up top and a small aluminum accented trigger here at the front, all trailing down to a small accent of satin silver, finished with a leatherette wrapped and stitched shift boot. Also, as you can hear, on even the most basic trim level, the Sonata provides electronic child protective safety locks, which automatically lock the car once it's put into gear, and will only unlock the vehicle once it's put back into park and it's actually safe to exit. As a side note, the only other available transmission, specific only to the Eco trim level of this vehicle, set to come out later this year, is a new electronically controlled 7-speed EcoShift dual-clutch automatic transmission, again specific only to the Eco trim level, designed and calibrated for maximum fuel efficiency. Now, only the driver's side window is automatic in both directions. Now, just like the previous generation of the Sonata, which lasted from 2011 all the way up here until 2014, the all-new 2015 Sonata comes with choice of 3 separate available power plants. However, unlike the previous generation, a hybrid variant of the Sonata is actually not available. More basic models, such as we have here, come with 1 standard available power plant. However, other available trims, such as the Eco and Sport 2.0 Turbo, come with their own selectable engine choices and transmissions. For the Eco, it's offered with a turbocharged variant of Hyundai's 1.6-liter Gamma Series direct-injected inline 4-cylinder engine, again paired with that EcoShift dual-clutch automatic transmission. However, if you desire a little bit more of a spirited driving style, there is the option of the Sport 2.0 Turbo, as only available in the Sport trim level, unlike the previous generation, which carried the turbo engine through a various amount of trims. And that engine there produces 245 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. However, in our case today, we have a much more robust, much more proven power plant in our favor. Raising the hood of Hyundai's all-new Sonata, we find their corporate 2.4-liter dual overhead cam, 16-valve, gasoline, direct fuel-injected inline 4-cylinder engine. Now, this particular unit here is actually a newly revised version of the engine that was actually equipped in the previous generation Sonata. This engine here is also equipped with dual continuous variable valve timing, and it cranks out 185 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque running on regular unleaded gasoline. Now, actually, as a major improvement over the previous outgoing generation, the fuel economy estimates for this all-new 2015 SE trim level have actually risen compared to the previous motor. This motor now produces 27 to 28 miles per gallon in the city and a record-setting 37 to 40 miles per gallon on the interstate highway, depending on how equipped. All engines, including the turbo engine, can actually run on regular unleaded gasoline. However, in the case of the turbo, it will actually decrease the horsepower and torque ever so slightly and also maintain about the same fuel economy estimates as well. And now let's see about a few revs of that newly revised 4-cylinder power plant, see what kind of soundtrack she produces. It's got a very snappy throttle response. Although admittedly, you do actually have to press on the gas pedal a good bit in order to introduce some fuel into the engine. But nevertheless, a very sharp and very snappy throttle response for a premium mid-size car. And with all that being done, let's go ahead and turn on the headlights. This vehicle does come standard with LED accented daytime running lights, as well as turn on the hazard lights as usual. And now let's take this quick opportunity to explore the exterior of the all-new Sonata SE. Now, even though our vehicle today is in its most basic trim level, and we'll discuss why here in a second, it still comes with plentiful amounts of premium upscale features. Starting off, we have these beautifully sculpted black and chrome bezeled halogen projector headlights as standard equipment. As stated previously, this vehicle also comes standard with LED daytime running lights down below. More upscale models will also feature fog lights built into this small black housing that you see here. got a beautiful matte silver front grille. In certain trim levels as well, this can also be changed to either a dark gray chrome or a much more bright chrome finish. Now, just like the previous generation of the Sonata, the all-new Sonata features several different wheel designs and sizes depending on which trim level you pick. Here on the most basic SE trim level, we have these 16-inch painted aluminum alloy wheels as standard equipment, wrapped in hand-cooked summer tires. You can also see beautiful little bits of bright work running along the lower portion of the door sill and around the window frame. You've got intermittently timed rain-sensing wipers. And in some cases, when this vehicle is classified as a Package 2, meaning that this vehicle is upgraded with the optional popular equipment package, a power tilting and sliding sunroof can also become available. Got these beautifully sculpted wraparound taillights. On much more upscale models such as the Limited and the Sport, these will then be changed to a full rake of LEDs surrounding the turn signals and backup lights. You can see you got a matte gray finished rear diffuser with a singular trapezoidal exhaust tip as compared to the duals on some more upscale models. You can see this one here has an optional rear deck lid spoiler. You got standard rear heated defrosting glass. Also up top you can see your color matched shark fin style antenna, stating that this vehicle does have Sirius XM satellite radio as standard equipment. Now, although the window sticker here says 25 in the city and 37 on the highway for this vehicle's fuel economy rating, vehicles like this have actually been known to get a lot better fuel mileage than what's stated on the sticker. As a matter of fact, one of the people here actually personally tested one of these and was getting over 40 miles to the gallon out of this vehicle on the interstate highway at about 65 to 70 miles an hour. You got monochromatic exterior mirrors. Just like the previous generation, an absolutely beautiful and truly game-changing design. Yet again showing what one of the most unsuspecting car companies can really do. But now that we've had a good look around the exterior of the all-new Sonata, let's go ahead and take a better look at what changes have been made to the interior. As stated previously, being that this is the most basic Package 1 2015 Sonata, our particular vehicle's interior has been fully upholstered in a standard beige cloth upholstery. It's also worth mentioning that this is a brand new set of materials for these seats. These are known as Yes Essentials, and these are stain-resistant seats as well. You can see the driver's seat and passenger seat are both manually adjustable. And even though this is a rather basic vehicle, you still get plentiful amounts of powered amenities, including power door mirrors, power door locks, an automatic one-touch driver's side window in both directions, the rest of your power windows, along with electronic window locks. Just to the left of your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, you have your instrument dimming, you have your gas door, trunk release, and also your traction control button. Now, once you step inside the interior of the all-new Sonata, one thing immediately becomes apparent. Hyundai definitely has gone back to the drawing board when it comes to refining and completely redesigning the Sonata's essentials. And speaking of essentials, the vehicle we're actually sitting in today is what Hyundai classifies as a Package 1 SE, meaning that this vehicle pretty much has everything as standard equipment. However, it does not have any inclusional packages, such as the popular equipment package, which would then designate this car as a Package 2. Now, the Package 2, of course, includes things like an upgraded 5-inch touchscreen display with included rear backup camera. But overall, basically what you're looking at is the most basic version of the all-new Sonata. As stated previously, there are 4 separate trim levels to this vehicle. SE, which we're in here. Eco, which is the sort of high fuel efficiency vehicle. We have the Limited, which is the upscale luxury trim. And also the Sport, which sort of falls between the Eco and Limited trim levels, being that it doesn't have all the options that a Limited would, but it still provides a lot more upscale features than the SE or Eco. And then if you really want to get into the high performance aspect of Hyundai's line, go for the Sonata Sport 2.0 Turbo, which features the upgraded engine, sport-tuned suspension, and so on. But really, for those looking for the most basic form of mid-size transportation, you really can't go wrong with going back to basics. And even so, Hyundai offers plentiful amounts of upscale features, including these electroluminescent white backlit gauges, with a standard LCD display with all of your relevant information here in the center. And that's all controlled through this little tab right up here in the upper right-hand corner of your steering wheel. You can go through your tire pressure, vehicle settings, including turning off and on the interior door chime that you heard earlier, and also average miles per gallon and active MPG at the same time, also including exterior temperature and also the trip meter. Now let's take a look at what's right in front of you. For a start, as stated previously, this one has voice command along with your hands-free Bluetooth, radio mode, and all your hands-free radio controls. Also, as just mentioned, the tab to change your LCD display, your cruise button, all of your different radio functions and LCD functions up here, and overall, pretty much all of your basic essentials that you would expect. Now, if you were to go for a more upscale version of this, things like forward collision warning and so on can also be available on vehicles equipped with things like the Ultimate package on Limited and Sport 2.0 Turbo models. Now, as far as basics go, things such as the climate control may seem basic, but are very much functional. Over here on the left, you have your fan speed control. You got 4 different speeds. You've also got your different climate zones down here, front and rear defroster, air conditioning recycling. You've got your AC introduction, all of your different climate zone buttons up here at the top, maximum AC turned all the way to the left, along with your temperature control as well. Over here, you've got your digital analog clock. And also, as you can see up here on the radio, everything is actually very easily legible and laid out. It's got a full blue backlit LCD display. Take a look past the innocent. Jacked Radio. As you can see, this vehicle does come with Sirius XM satellite radio, as aforementioned. And you're listening to Jack, the Sirius. You can also switch between 3 different channels of XM, your FM radios as well, and AM radios, not to mention. Also, you've got different media, such as your iPod and USB integration, hands-free phone, Seek track button, the availability to turn the display completely off, Also, vehicle scanning and setup, vehicle menu, also your category and folder, and preset radio stations down here below. You've also got additional storage down in the lower part. You've got two 12-volt 180-watt outlets on each side. Also, your iPod USB and auxiliary input as standard equipment. Trailing off, you've got all of your beautiful sort of black rubberized feeling plastics here. Chrome finish around your cup holders. And then moving over, we actually have a small button here just located right below the shifter. Now this button here is essential to optimizing the performance of even the most basic of the Sonata. You basically push it, and as you can see over to the left, you now have what's called Eco mode. And this is basically like the active Eco that's in a lot of Hyundai's other cars. It decreases your throttle timings and transmission timings to allow the vehicle to drive at its most fuel efficient. However, if you hit it again, you can see a little orange icon pops up, and that is the Sport mode, and that basically does the complete opposite. It sharpens the steering, sharpens your throttle timings, and also sharpens your transmission timings to allow for a little bit more of a, well, sporty driving experience. Also, with both of the icons not illuminated, it means you're in normal mode, and the vehicle sort of acts as in between. Now, as far as ergonomics and aesthetics go, for a basic model, it's kind of what you'd expect, although there's not as many hard-touch plastics as you might expect. The dashboard does have sort of a rubberized kind of feel to it, although it is a bit firmer to the touch. Nevertheless, you've also got this sort of dark gray plastic finish here, trailing off into another tone of beige for your glove box and also along the doors. Up here on the top of the door, you've got a leatherette sort of padded material here on the upper portion. You've got this gray sort of checkerboard style finish, which is kind of nifty. Then you've got these sort of you've got the leatherette padding running down the door handle, all the way down the armrest, and also sort of black, or you've got these hard touch plastics up here for the middle of the door panel as well, and also surrounding your controls. Over here on the left before, gas door, trunk, traction control, and also your available instrument dimming, as you can see. Also down here in the center is a full leatherette padded center console with a small little removable tray with its own designated little slot. Nothing really essential down in here, just extra storage. And up top as well, you've got your standard reading lights and sunglasses storage. Also a little sort of reading light underneath, just interior illumination. Illuminated vanity mirrors. In conclusion, the all-new Sonata definitely presents a completely different universe as far as going from the older generation to the new, providing plentiful amounts of comfort and upscale features in a much more basic, usable package. Unbelievable. But with all that being done, let's go ahead and turn off the engine. And one unique thing about this key fob here, you do have that little exit chime as well. One unique thing about the key fob is that you actually cannot just simply turn it off like that. You actually have to push in ever so slightly to allow for the vehicle's key fob to be retracted. Also, you've got a nice illuminated ignition switch down here, not to mention. So with all of that being done, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the all-new Sonata. See your standard drink holders in all four of the doors. They'll fit probably about a nice 12-ounce can of soda or a 16.9-ounce bottle of something. Now, stepping into the back of the Sonata is really where the surprises start. The seat where you see it right now is exactly the seating position that I would have it, and I'm pretty tall. I'm about 6'1", and as you can see, I have a good at least half a foot between my knee and the back of the seat. Now this is all due in part to these little indentions here in the back of the seat. You can also see you've got leather-bound mat pockets here on both sides, along with another little cigarette lighter style outlet back here. Now, one of the biggest areas aside from the whole of the interior that you'll find in the Sonata is of course in the trunk, a much larger capacity compared to last year. See plentiful amounts of storage capabilities, and you'll pretty much double this capacity once you lower the 60/40 split fold rear seats, accessed through these small triggers up top. So you just go ahead and pull them, and that pulls the seat out. As noted, you can see the little red part right back here, lets you know that the seat is unlocked. And one big thing that really jumps out to a lot of people nowadays, especially myself, is the quality of this vehicle. Just listen when you close the door. It's not tinny or rattly, you just... this big, soft thunk. A much bigger improvement compared to last year. And you can see, seats just pop out, fold right forward depending on where your seat belt is located. There you go. Sometimes that can be a little bit fiddly, especially to do with one hand. But nevertheless, you can see quite a fulfilling amount of storage space. This nice little opening back here, and you can fit something probably as large as a bicycle back here if you remove the front wheel and do it in the correct fashion. You see it just locks right back into place. You've also got a small cloth-bound center console with standard dual cup holders. Now, as far as standard safety features go, the 2015 Sonata is really top-notch when it comes to providing the most for your money. For a start, you've got a full variety of airbags, including dual front impact airbags for the driver and passenger, side curtain and side impact airbags, also electronic stability control, ABS, pre-seatbelt tensioners, along with active headrest, just to name a few. Now, stepping into the passenger side of the vehicle, depending on your seating position, it's still extraordinarily comfortable. Lots of legroom, you can stretch out just as easily, and everything feels of a very good quality even for a basic vehicle. The glove box is damped, it does fall somewhat silently, although it's not lined with felt or anything like that. But plentiful storage capability nonetheless. But in conclusion, the 2015 Sonata definitely shows how Hyundai has changed the game yet once again, showing all of its competitors that they really are nothing to be just taken lightly. And for a car costing just over 20 grand starting out, it really is quite a bargain, especially considering what you get for your money as a whole. So viewers, I hope you've enjoyed this rather in-depth look at the all-new 2015 Hyundai Sonata SE. If you wish to find out more information about the whole of the all-new Sonata lineup, feel free to visit Hyundai USA, or depending on your area, feel free to visit your local Hyundai dealer for more information and possible test drives. If you live here in the local Houston area, stop by one of our 3 locations at Baytown Hyundai in Southeast Houston off of Interstate 10, North Freeway Hyundai in their all-new location on Interstate 45, just north of Spring, Texas, and also come visit Humble Hyundai here in Interstate 59 in Humble, Texas. Till then, viewers, hope you guys had a great time, and I'll see you guys later.